You know what I am a fan of, though? I am a fan of these two players. Because spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Dynasty, we have our blue Terran player for Cloud9. It's GuMiho. And his opponent in the lower left, in the red, for Twisted Minds, it's Classic. Yes, it's absolutely worth being a little sick, a little under the weather for hanging out with everybody at Dallas, at DreamHack. Getting to watch some awesome StarCraft up close, getting to chat with people and meet people. What was really cool for me was like actually getting to meet a lot of the Korean players. I didn't get to meet GuMiho, and I didn't get to meet Classic either, so I'm a little unfortunate. But like Hero recognized me, and that was cool. You know, got to say hi to Solar and Rogue and a bunch of other guys. So that was really cool. It was cool to get recognized by the Korean players. Nightmare and Cure. Lots of cool people. I mean, they see my name all the time, but it's different when you're meeting them in person. Also, Tater Tutor, thank you. My blood pressure is actually quite good. I just gave blood a few weeks ago, and they checked my blood pressure, and it was... it's almost... My blood pressure has pretty consistently been almost exactly what it's supposed to be. It used to be a little under, but as I've gotten older, it's gone up a little bit, where it's pretty much dead on, like, what the numbers... You know, and they give you, like, this is average blood pressure. This is where it's supposed to be. Mine's, like, right there, which I'm very happy about, because, yeah, I don't know how I managed that. I got kind of lucky. Classic is proxying a Stargate. That's cute. That's good stuff. Oh yeah, they had the BYOC LAN. Temisk, you were playing in that? Dolan, Mixu, and Foxer just came in and crushed everybody. It's so rude. So rude. You shouldn't be able to play in the BYOC if you play in the main event. Get out of here, Dolan. Nah, but those guys are all cool. Getting to hang out and chat with them as well. I had to chat a lot with Shadone. Shadone's really cool. I mean, all the players are cool. I don't even know. What is there even to say? They're just good people. These are Void Rays. What is happening right now? Classic just going for Void Rays. This is insane. All right, GuMiho's got double Cyclone, though. So he will push this away immediately. That is so funny. Okay, so the Void Ray, we're playing on Dynasty. I kind of forgot that this is the kind of stuff that happens on this map. GuMiho is going for a double Cyclone drop, it looks like. Oh, and he's going to catch this Void Ray with a double lock-on. But a second Void Ray pops out in time to save it. But this Void Ray is low on hit points. 56 hit points. The shields will start regenning, but pretty slowly. And now GuMiho's got Marines and a Viking out as well, just to help out against this. And, like, he doesn't need to go anywhere. He doesn't need to harass with any of this. Hellenes look like they tried to get something done, but failed. Because defending his base that's like just as good. I love this strat coming out for Classic, though. It's just crazy that GuMiho just hard countered it with whatever build he was trying to go for. Ooh, a third Void Ray and a Stalker here with a couple of ground units. The tanks, the single tank will help against the Stalker and the Adept, but the Stalker can help against the Vikings if they come a little too far, or the Cyclones. Oh, those Void Rays diving in deep. A little bit of micro struggles here as Classic's trying to figure out exactly how to fight this. The Vikings outrange the Void Rays, and the Cyclones can just sit back here as the Vikings kite backwards. And now the Cyclones, the Marines, the Vikings all coming out. Classic's going to take the fight. He wants to target down this medevac. He will get it. And that will at least make sure these Void Rays stay alive for a little while. As I say that, these Vikings are chasing Void Ray is going to turn back around and kill one. The Proxy Stargate will go down. Oh my god, there's Stalkers here. Stalker's going to target down the Cyclones. One Cyclone does get the lock on, but both Cyclones going down. The Viking going to dive for the second Void Ray. No, it's not going to get it. Oh, it does get it with the last couple of rockets. And the Marines will push the Stalkers away. Oh my god, Classic. Don't do this. Classic. Ah! He loses it. What are we doing, Classic? Well, all the Marines go down. Let's take a look at the trades. Honestly, very comparable. Classic, I will say, Classic lost less important units in that these Void Rays are not going to be helpful later on in the game, whereas all these units would have been helpful later on in the game. I guess maybe the Cyclone's a little less so. I don't know, this feels like it should have been like a really big deal, but Classic's got 3 bases behind this. They just kind of traded out. I think it's hilarious that Classic turned back around to keep fighting, but I guess he wanted to keep the Stargate alive, and now he's got the Oracle out. This is going to be a benefit to him. And GuMiho is still having to defend this base, right? He still has to worry about defending this. But now GuMiho's got his third base planting. Classics has been running for a while. And he could also go for this base. I mean, he could. Nothing's stopping him. Other than the threat of potential harassment. He could even take this side of this base and try to get the Rich Vespene Geyser. If he felt so inclined. What if you put a Nexus on both sides and just mine the absolute crap out of these minerals and you get like 1.5 gases? Maybe that's the real strat. I don't know. Now we're kind of chilling. We're just building up a lot of barracks here for GuMiho, though. Is this? It's like a dedicated push. He is on 8 racks. This feels like the good old 8 racks push against Zerg, but just a little different. Oracle being annoying in the meantime, but as more Marines pop out, it's going to have to run away. GuMiho is going to kill that pylon, which will alert Classic to his army's presence. Classic is way out here on the map, dropping force fields and killing SCVs. But he's going to have to recall. Gets most of those units home. Yeah, it gets him to the natural nexus. That is the spot to go. He's going to lose his Cyber Core in this pylon here. Not really a big deal. Those were anti-Reaper jump-ups. I don't think there's too much GuMiho can do here. He's going to try to get up into the main base, but this army from Classic is so sick. Going to lose that gateway, loses the Oracle. I feel like Classic should just be able to clear this pretty easily. He's got such a big army out here. And yeah, GuMiho's going to have to run away. He will be able to at least pick some of this up. Loses everything on the low ground. This does give an opening, though, to get in and finally kill that Stargate. Also, a few probes went down.
Man. Wow.
I'm not sure exactly where those 4 probes died, but they did die at some point. Con with the 44-month resub. Today's the day of big resubs, as Bagels was in here earlier hitting that fat resub button. Thank you, Con. Hope you're doing well. I was thinking about you while at DreamHack. Would have been cool to hang out with you there. Maybe the next one. GuMiho getting a 4th base set up. He's got 2-2 on the way. Classic does have +2 attack being chrono boosted out as he repowers some of these gateways, but only those single forge right now. He is going to start falling pretty far behind in upgrades. As GuMiho just steams forward into this natural, Classic's army not too close by. And a lot of this gateway force is actually just getting trashed here. GuMiho gets up into the main base, and this turns into a great movement. That single forge I was talking about, well, it is now dead. Blink was never finished. I actually didn't even realize that. It will eventually get finished here as the Twilight Council will stay alive, but everything depowered. Tasteless, Artosis, State was over here helping to power these gateways. And at the same time, GuMiho in the top side killing the 4th base. Classic is in a lot of trouble right now. I feel like Classic had such a sick army for a little while, but he just lost all those gateway units. He can't warp anything in right now because nearly every single gateway is depowered. He's also horrendously supply blocked, and I don't think this powers his gateway. Yeah, he just put 3 new pylons down, and he still doesn't have everything powered. He's going to try to take this base, but that base is so difficult to defend, especially when Blink still isn't done, and the Colossus is going to eat one. Oh my god, another double drop back into the main base, and this army is still up here, poised to head into the third. Classic can't handle it all. He doesn't have the warpins. He doesn't, maybe he does have the money, but he can't spend it right now. And as he just continues to fall apart, it's going to be harder and harder to get back into this game. The recall on the third Nexus will at least save the Nexus. Oh, that's not much. That's not much, GuMiho says. But with some good micro here and a few Zealots to warp in, Classic will hold on to this base for now, but he's lost 24 probes. Yes, this gold base is almost done, but GuMiho is chilling on 4 bases right now. He's looking so good back at home, and he can just keep this pressure on. Classic is still struggling to keep up in supply. He's down 50 supply right now. And honestly, it's almost all in the army. So GuMiho's army looking so good. And remember that Forge died. So while Double Forge is up now, GuMiho's ahead 3 upgrades. So in a straight up fight, his army is so much better than it has any right to be. Oh my god, as these probes go to mine and they can't. And GuMiho comes in here, he kills this Nexus, gets out with 2 medevacs full of units. Gonna pick up and drop over here. I think he just straight up kill this Nexus. There's no way Classic gets over here in time to save it. Classic says, screw it, I'm going across the map. GuMiho could try to pull home and defend. This is not a planetary. But it looks like he's just gonna drop back in and make sure Classic is fully dead. This might turn into kind of a base trade, although I feel like, oh my god, GuMiho's going to get on top of the Colossi. Yeah, that is just going to be it. GuMiho's going to be able to take game number 1. There is no shot this army can do enough damage to GuMiho before GuMiho kills literally every single thing in Classic's base. Yeah, there's just no shot here. Classic does have Storm on these High Templar. Makes him a little bit more dangerous. But I feel like GuMiho's just going to be able to whittle away at this army. I like that he targeted down the Stalker. I mean, getting the kills here, the sure kills on the units is very important. My god, that is a lot of bio. Coming home from the other side of the map, there is the GG as Classic realizes he cannot contend with GuMiho's army. And GuMiho does take game number 1. Really nicely played there by GuMiho. I think it was a fun opening by Classic with the proxy Void Rays to try to hit the back of that gold. He knew GuMiho was going to take that. I like the idea of that. And the trades ended up like relatively even. So I don't know. It wasn't the end of the world. But GuMiho really taking advantage of the map and hitting on multiple angles. Drawing Classic, you know, this way and that way. And because of the Stargate opener, Blink was super late. So all those drops were so much more painful because of how late Blink was. If all the Stalkers that Classic had Blink, I said the word had a lot in that sentence. If he could have caught like a couple of medevacs with Blink Stalkers, or I don't know, if he hadn't opened up with a bunch of Void Rays that were no longer in the game, yeah, maybe he is able to defend there. But it took him so long to defend one side that he's losing stuff on the other side, and it just compounded. It's got worse and worse and worse. Really nice multi-prong there from GuMiho. Honestly, I feel like that's not the kind of game I usually see him play. But then he's been struggling against Protoss for a while. So maybe he's working on some new stuff to try to take down the Protossers. Let's hop into game number 2 here. We are on Golden Aura, spawning in the upper left-hand corner. It is GuMiho. Looking good. Looking like good Miho. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner. Down 0-1, but still fighting it. It is Classic. Whew. So also in this bracket, we have Dark versus Nightmare, which happens almost every single KSL. We have Beyond versus Stats, which is a banger. Steadfast is currently casting that one. We also have Trap versus Hero, which is so cool. So Trap beat Ryung. Those guys are very closely ranked on Aligulac, but like Trap just got back from military. So very interested to see how he does in the coming months. There's those first couple of months back where you can see what's the saying, right? Form is temporary, class is forever, right? The players that are the high class, the high caliber players, they come back from their military service or time away for whatever reason, and they look good, but they need to tighten some things up. And like I remember when Hero came back from military, it was like, damn, he looks really good. If he could really get a hand on the meta, figure out the builds that he needs, and like just tighten up a couple things, he's gonna be killing it. And he immediately did all that. Beyond was kind of the same thing. He came back very strong from the military because apparently he had just been practicing like the whole time on all of his days off, so he was still looking real good. But I haven't really seen Trap's games. I'm really interested. I did want to cast those. I'm a little surprised that Steadfast didn't follow Trap into Hero. But that's like a really tough match. The round of 8 here gets really tough. None of these players are easy, and I think Trap, you know, it's going to be a tough time no matter what. But I'm really interested to see how he does against Hero. Hoping he can at least take a game. I don't know if anybody's casting that. I know that Into the Inu and Enki are both casting in Korean and Spanish respectively, so one of them might be covering that match. I wouldn't be too surprised. I hope one of them is covering that match. But we're covering this match, so I should probably talk about this game a little bit. As Classic really wants to get that Hellion, but he will not get that Hellion. See if the second Adept can do it. As this Hellion's getting repaired up, but only one SCV. So Adept might be able to come over here and get a couple more of those cheeky shots off. Looks like he's just going to grab the Marine and back up. Doesn't quite get the SCV. Oh my god, is that the real boom in my chat? Can't believe it. The Cyclone going to come off and finish that Adept. It's 2 dead Adepts for just the 1 Marine. Big investment there from Classic, and now he really doesn't have anything back at home. 1 Stalker, soon to be maybe a 2nd Stalker. Ooh, and GuMiho. Wait, where's the Cyclone? GuMiho going to drop into the main, I guess leaving the Cyclone back at home in case of defense. There's just going to be 4 Marines in the main. Not really that scary. But it's going to force a response from Classic, whose Stalkers are way out on the map. So yeah, they got to come all the way home. And these Marines will gun through probes pretty quickly. And in the meantime, the Hellion trying to get into some probes as well, but just delaying the Stalkers is pretty good. But 3 more warp in for Classic, and this medevac will get chased back. That's still 4 dead probes for just the 1 Hellion. Really nice opening here for GuMiho, killing both of those Adepts and getting some worker damage. And the follow-up is going to be Cloaked Banshees. And that is, yeah, that's painful. Because Classic, I don't know if he's really going to be ready for this. He does have an Observer, but it's heading across the map. It's going to miss the Banshee. Could go for the recall. He could just build another Observer if he happens to start one up soon. That wouldn't be too terrible. There's a Stargate. I don't know if I've ever seen a Stargate after a Twilight Council Robo opening. That's actually kind of insane. Oh my god, and the scan to kill the Observer as well. That does mean there's a 2nd Observer on the way out, which is going to be out just in time for this Banshee to get in here. So Classic, very, very fortunate to be starting this up. And starting up a Phoenix, I'm so confused. Maybe he knows this build from GuMiho. Like, these Stalkers have Blink. It's crazy to be going Phoenixes right now. But I feel like he knows what he's up against. I don't know. If he knew what he was up against, he would have more units to deal with this push. Right now, he's just got nothing. Was he just trying to kill this medevac? I'm so confused. Classic trying to tech in 3 directions at once, trying to get Colossi out, trying to get Phoenixes out. Blink is already done, but I don't think he's going to get any of it really out. The Banshees are going to come in and get killed pretty much immediately, but the Marines will drop. This is taking up so much time. The Stalker goes down as well. And in the meantime, this push is just continuing to be annoying, killing the entire wall, delaying this Colossus for God knows how long. Stalker's going to try to come out. They're going to try to blink on these tanks. The Phoenix gets targeted down. 1 tank goes down, but all of the Stalkers are going to die before the 2nd tank goes down. And GG as GuMiho crashes through with that push. What a game. Man, that was very decisive from GuMiho. And I think Classic, I don't know if he had a misread on what GuMiho was doing. Maybe he thought it was going to be all this harassment into just like expand like crazy. You know, let's do damage to you while I take all the bases, or what? Maybe he thought it was a completely different build. But GuMiho just surprised him with that push. I do not think Classic was ready for that at all. I mean, I guess I should say clearly he was not ready for that at all. And GuMiho gets the quick win in game 2. Gets the 2-0 victory and moves on to the semifinals.